What if I told you that earning more money may not be enough to stop you from being broke? Think about this. Two people earn $50,000 a month. One looks rich. He has the latest phone, a nice bike, expensive clothes. He eats out regularly. From the outside, it looks like he's doing really well. The other person doesn't look nearly as successful. Older phone, simple lifestyle, not much to show on social media. But every month, some of his income quietly goes into savings and investments. Now fast forward 10 years. Who do you think is actually wealthier? Here's the surprising part. The person who looks richer may have less wealth. Because there's a difference between earning money, spending money, and actually keeping money. And once you understand that difference, you'll start seeing personal finance completely differently. Because people don't usually become financially stuck from one huge mistake. It happens slowly. A little lifestyle inflation here. A little EMI there. A few I'll save next month decisions. A credit card balance. Then an emergency. And suddenly, you're earning more than ever, but somehow you still don't have enough money. So why does this happen? Let's break it down. The first problem, income. Let's be fair before we blame anyone. Sometimes the answer really is income. If someone earns $15,000 or $20,000 a month and most of it goes toward food, rent, transportation, healthcare and family responsibilities, there may simply not be much left to save. You can't solve a mathematical problem by giving motivational advice. But here's where things get interesting. Income and wealth are not the same thing. Income is the money coming in. Wealth is what you own, minus what you owe. Imagine one person earns $80,000 every month. Sounds impressive, but he spends $75,000 and has heavy debt. Another person earns $40,000. He saves $8,000, avoids unnecessary debt and slowly builds investments. Who has the higher income? Obviously, the first person. But who might be building more wealth? The second. That's why the question isn't only, how much money do you make? It's also, how much of that money survives after your lifestyle gets paid? And this brings us to the next problem. The salary trap. Imagine your salary is $30,000. You spend $25,000. So you save $5,000. Then you get a raise. Your salary becomes $40,000. Great. You think, finally, I can afford a better life. So you upgrade your phone, eat out more, buy better clothes. Maybe take a bike on EMI. Your expenses rise to $35,000. You're still saving $5,000. Then your salary becomes $60,000. And the same thing happens again. Better lifestyle, more subscriptions, more shopping, more eating out, maybe a more expensive vehicle. Eventually you're spending $55,000, and you're still saving $5,000. Your salary doubled. Your savings didn't. This is lifestyle inflation. And it's one of the most dangerous things about increasing income, because it doesn't feel dangerous. Nobody wakes up and says, today I'm going to destroy my financial future. It happens through small upgrades. One decision at a time. And the scary part, the more you earn, the easier it becomes to justify the next upgrade. Why do we keep spending? Here's where money stops being mathematics and becomes psychology. Think about the last time you had a stressful day. You opened your phone. You saw food, shopping, entertainment, maybe something you wanted. And your brain said, why not? I deserve it. That sentence sounds harmless, but it's powerful. Because humans naturally tend to value immediate rewards more than distant rewards. This is called present bias. Spend $1,000 today. You get the reward immediately. Save that $1,000. The benefit might come years later. And the human brain isn't always patient. That's why I'll start saving next month is such a dangerous sentence. Because next month feels far away. Until it becomes today. Then you postpone it again. And suddenly 5 years have passed. Then social media makes it worse. You open Instagram. Someone bought a new iPhone. Someone got a new car. Someone is traveling. Someone is eating at a luxury restaurant. Someone just moved into a beautiful apartment. You know these are only snapshots. You know people don't post their debt. You know they don't post their credit card statements. But emotionally, it can still affect you. You start thinking, am I falling behind? And that's where social comparison enters your financial life. Sometimes you don't buy something because you need it. You buy it because you don't want to feel behind. A phone becomes a status symbol. A car becomes a symbol of success. A restaurant becomes a lifestyle. A vacation becomes something you feel you should be doing. And this is important. There's nothing wrong with enjoying your money. The problem is when you start spending money to maintain an image that your finances cannot comfortably support. Because looking successful has a cost, and someone has to pay that bill. The EMI Illusion. Here's another trap. You see a 1 lakh product. You think, 1 lakh, too expensive. Then the website says, only $4,999 per month. Suddenly it feels affordable, but the price didn't disappear. It was simply divided into smaller pieces. Now imagine you do this repeatedly. Phone EMI, bike EMI, personal loan, credit card purchases, subscriptions. Suddenly, before your salary even reaches your bank account, a large part of it already has somewhere to go. That's the problem with excessive consumption debt. You are not just borrowing money. You're borrowing against your future income. And the cycle can look like this. Want EMI, less disposable income, less saving, emergency, more borrowing. And once you're inside that cycle, getting out becomes much harder. The person with 50,000 may be safer than the person with 1 lakh. Here's something people don't talk about enough. Financial security isn't only about income. It's also about what happens when life goes wrong. Imagine two people. Both earn 50,000. Suddenly, one needs 40,000 for an emergency. Person A has an emergency fund. He pays for it. It's painful, but financially manageable. Person B has no savings, so he borrows. Now the original 40,000 problem becomes 40,000. Plus interest, plus future repayments, same income, same emergency, completely different outcome. That's what an emergency fund really does. It doesn't make you rich. It keeps one bad month from becoming a financial disaster. I know all this, but I still don't do IT. Here's the strange thing about personal finance. Most people don't need to hear that saving is important for the first time. They already know. They know credit card debt can be expensive. They know saving matters. They know investing is important. They know they should probably spend less. So why don't they? Because knowledge and behavior are not the same thing. Research on financial literacy has actually found mixed results. Earlier research found that financial education often had relatively modest effects on financial behavior. But newer large-scale evidence has found positive effects on financial knowledge and financial behavior. So financial literacy matters, but knowing what to do isn't enough. You also need to make the right behavior easier to repeat. Because knowing that you should save, and actually saving every month, are two completely different things. Your brain can work against your money. Now let's talk about something even deeper. Loss aversion. Imagine someone gives you 1,000. You're happy. Now imagine someone takes 1,000 from you. That loss may feel much more painful. This matters in investing. The market goes up. You feel smart. The market falls. You panic. Maybe investing isn't for me. You sell. Then the market recovers. And you're left wondering what happened. This is why personal finance isn't just about knowing numbers. It's about controlling reactions. Because sometimes the biggest threat to your financial plan isn't the market. It's what you do when you're scared. The most expensive thing you can lose is time. Now let's talk about investing. A lot of people wait. I'll start when my salary increases. I'll start after I buy a house. I'll start when I have more money. But there's something they forget. Compounding needs time. Imagine investing 1,000 every month for 30 years. At a hypothetical 10% annual return, the amount could grow to roughly 22.6 lakh. You personally contributed only 3.6 lakh. The rest comes from investment growth over time. But there's an important warning. 10% is not guaranteed. Real investment returns can be higher or lower. This is simply an illustration. The point isn't that 1,000 will magically make you rich. The point is that time allows your money to potentially earn returns, and those returns can themselves generate further returns. And that's why starting early can matter so much. You don't need to become rich tomorrow. You need to give your money enough time to work. Then something goes wrong. And this is where financial life gets tested. You can have a good salary, you can save, you can invest, and still get hit by something you didn't expect. Job loss, medical expenses, family emergency, major repair, sudden income reduction. Life doesn't ask whether your budget is ready, it just happens. And if you don't have a financial buffer, one unexpected event can force you to borrow, sell investments, stop investing, or cut essential spending. One shock can create another, and another. That's why building wealth isn't just about going up. It's also about not falling too far when something goes wrong. What does this look like in India? Now let's bring this back to India. Indian households don't all have the same financial situation. Some have stable salaries, some depend on irregular income. Some have significant family responsibilities, some save through bank deposits, some invest, some rely heavily on borrowing. That's why we need actual data instead of assumptions. RBI data tracks Indian household financial assets, liabilities, and financial flows. SEBI's Investor Survey 2025 looks at investment participation, investor behavior, and financial goals in India. MOSPI's Household Consumption Expenditure Survey helps us understand what Indian households actually spend money on. And the World Bank's Global Findex provides international data on saving, borrowing, and financial resilience. The important point isn't one single number, it's the bigger picture. A person's financial health cannot be understood from their salary alone. You need to look at income, spending, debt, savings, investments, and resilience. For money myths that can keep you stuck, let's make this simple. Myth 1. If I earn more, I'll automatically become wealthy. Not necessarily. If your lifestyle grows as fast as your salary, you can earn more and still have little left. Myth 2. All debt is bad. No. The purpose, cost, and repayment burden matter. A productive loan can be very different from expensive consumption debt. Myth 3. I just need more financial knowledge. Knowledge helps, but behavior matters too. You can understand investing and still never invest. You can understand saving and still spend everything. Myth 4. People are broke because they're bad with money. Sometimes behavior matters. But sometimes the bigger problem is simply that income is too low relative to essential expenses. So don't turn personal finance into a blame game. Context matters. So what's really keeping people broke? And now we can finally see the full picture. It's not just income. It's not just spending. It's not just debt. It's not just financial literacy. And it's not just investing. It's all of them interacting with each other. Low income can make saving difficult. Lifestyle inflation can absorb raises. Psychology can push you towards short-term rewards. Debt can reduce future cash flow. No emergency fund can make a small shock much bigger. Poor financial decisions can repeat. And delaying investing can reduce the time available for compounding. None of these things necessarily destroys your finances overnight. That's not how it usually works. It's much quieter than that. Small decisions become habits. Habits become patterns. Patterns become financial outcomes. And after 10 or 20 years, those outcomes can look enormous. The real difference. So maybe the better question isn't, how do I become rich? Maybe it's, how do I stop making my future financially weaker? Earn more when you can. But don't automatically spend every raise. Enjoy your money. But don't let lifestyle become a permanent obligation. Use debt carefully. Build an emergency fund. Learn enough about money to make better decisions. And when you invest, remember that time can be one of your biggest advantages. Because the goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to become financially difficult to break. Remember this: earn, control, save, protect, invest, grow. Because income gives you money. Spending decides what remains. Saving protects it. Investing can grow it. And wealth is ultimately what you own, minus what you owe. So the next time you see someone driving a luxury car, wearing an expensive watch, or posting a perfect life online, don't assume they're wealthy. You might be looking at someone's lifestyle, not their net worth. Because looking rich and being wealthy are two completely different things. And sometimes, the person who looks the least impressive financially is quietly winning the game. If you found this video useful, subscribe to the channel for more simple, practical videos about money and financial freedom.